So here you're putting on the chain first, and then you'll put on the belt next around the rear hub. And then you put the rear hub through the dropouts. Gotta pause a moment because the bike fell down. Now you can put the rear hub onto the chainstay. I started to use a crescent wrench here because I did not have a wrench that fit the size of this bolt. You can kind of pull the rear hub towards you just enough so that belt is tensioned. Then I started to tighten both of the nuts on either side of the rear hub. Now you can put the frame onto the axle. This takes a little maneuvering. And it slides in like that. Then you can put the nuts on either side of the axle and did not tighten them down fully. Next, bring up the support arms to the chainstays. Take the washer first, and then you can put on the nut. Now, as you can see, you should adjust the frame to be vertical and perpendicular with the ground as much as possible. Now you can tighten the nuts that are on the support arms. Here I'm just making sure that the bike is quite vertical. Now you can tighten the side nuts. Also tighten the nuts on the clamps to the chainstays. Now take the bike tensioner and place it into the slots. Now you're going to want to push this until the belt is pretty tight. While holding this, at the same time, tighten the nuts on either side. Don't tighten on any of them all the way, but just little adjustments at a time. So we're going to start off by taking off the belt tensioner. So loosen the nuts on either side. Okay, so just put that aside. And now we're going over to the left side of the frame. This is a left-hand thread shoulder bolt, so you must unscrew appropriately. So just pop that out and then go move on to the other side. Make sure you're supporting the bike a lot because this puts a lot of stress on those shoulder bolts. This is a right hand thread so you can unscrew appropriately. Now just place the frame on the ground. Now you can pop off the cones. Make sure to line up the set screws so that they will slide into the keyblade. I'm just checking to see if the key is still in there, which it was. Next, align the other roller half and place it on. Now you can start putting back on the shoulder bolts. We put these washers here to act as spacers. First, you want to thread in the bolt to the cone. In this part, I am having someone else hold the bike because it's just a lot easier than trying to prop it up on an object or something like that. Now for the other side, repeat the same process. This is a right hand thread bolt. Right here, I'm just screwing this side a little more in. I never fully tightened it on the first time just because I wasn't able to get enough clearance on the other side to put those washers in. So now I'm fully tightening it here. Also, I'm making sure not to get the washers pinched in the shoulder bolt because that could easily happen and then jam your bolt. Now we're going to put the belt tensioner back on like we did previously in the first section. Okay, so the next section is to remove this assembly from the frame. We're going to start off by removing the belt tensioner, so just unscrew these nuts on both sides. Next, we're going to loosen the clamps that are on the chainstays. Just unscrewing these clamps and then taking off all the hardware. So I wasn't able to get out the bolt, so I decided to loosen the nuts that are on the bottom of those clamps. Then I'm also loosening the nuts that are at the bottom of the arms. You technically don't have to take off this arm, but it was just easier to get that bolt off the chainstay, so I decided to in this case. Then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Next, we're going to loosen the nuts that are on either side of the dropouts. You can just slide out the frame, and as you can see, it is fully unsupported by nothing than just my arm. Next, loosen up these washers that are on both sides of the dropouts. Now we're also going to take off this fastener point. To get off the rear hub, you're going to remove the chain off of the gear, and then you're able to slide off the rear hub. And now it's disassembled.